There are an estimated 400 people experiencing homelessness within the city of Laconia, and there is very little data regarding their specific circumstances. In an effort to better understand this issue, the Daily Sun conducted a survey with 50 individuals experiencing homelessness within city limits. Participants were asked basic identification questions like age, sex, race, employment, and veteran status, as well as more in-depth questions like how they lost their homes and what their biggest barriers were to getting housing. Participants were interviewed at 4 locations, including downtown, Rotary Park, Isaiah 61 Cafe, the Belknap House, and a large encampment located in a forest at the end of Spruce Street. A majority of participants were living here. The following data does not necessarily represent the entire population of people experiencing homelessness within Laconia. Instead, it is a snapshot of a very visible group that was also willing to speak with the Daily Sun. Based on the data, the average person experiencing homelessness in the city of Laconia is a 43.5-year-old unemployed white male with a substance use disorder developed before losing their home to divorce or the loss of a family member. They are camping for shelter and have experienced homelessness for around 4.5 years. Their primary barrier to achieving housing is the region's prices and availability. Now, let's break down the data to see how we got here. Of the 50 people surveyed, 33 identified as male, 17 identified as female, 46 identified as white, 1 identified as black, 1 identified as Latino, and 2 people identified as Hispanic. 1 person identified as a veteran. When asked to identify the primary or key factor in the loss of their homes, participants gave 16 answers across 50 interviews. The top 3 reasons were the divorce and/or the loss of a family member at 14%, addiction at 12%, and having their home sold at 10%. An additional 10% cited eviction. 8% cited a rent raise. An additional 8% said they lost their job. 6% blamed mental health issues. Another 6% cited injuries or medical issues. An additional 6%, all of them women, cited domestic violence. 6% cited the COVID-19 pandemic. 4% said that helping other people experiencing homelessness was instrumental in them losing their own homes. The final 6% were split evenly between losing their homes to fire, flood, and choosing the lifestyle. Substance abuse was very common amongst participants. 52% of those surveyed said they currently had a substance use disorder. 8 of those 26 people developed the disorder after losing their homes. 2 of the 24 people who currently did not have a substance use disorder said they had one before they lost their home. When asked what their primary mode of shelter was, 78% said they were camping. 10% said they were couch surfing. 8% were living through a charity rental program. 2% were staying with family, and 2% were living in a vehicle. The amount of time spent experiencing homelessness ranged drastically, from just 4 days to 18 years. The average was just under 4.5 years, or nearly 54 months. When it came to employment status, 32% of those surveyed said they were unemployed, 22% were disabled, 22% said they were seeking work, 16% said they were working either part-time or full-time, 6% were living off of Social Security, and 2% were volunteering. When asked what their primary barrier was to getting housing, an overwhelming majority, 52%, cited the region's housing prices and lack of availability. 10% cited a felony conviction. Another 10% cited a mental health issue. 8% cited a general lack of income. 6% cited an inability to get hired. 4% cited physical health issues. The last 10% were evenly split among legal issues, lack of services, loss of benefits, stigma, and refusal to take any services. With the sub 1% vacancy rate and inflated rental rates, it is incredibly difficult, if not impossible, for those working lower wage jobs to find an apartment in Laconia. A cursory glance at apartments.com for the city yields just 4 results for a 1-bedroom, ranging from $1,400 to $1,725 a month. Using the 1/3 rule of income required for most apartments, a person would need to make over $50,000 a year to afford the cheapest listed bedroom in Laconia. By contrast, a minimum wage employee working 40 hours a week only nets $950 a month in the state of New Hampshire. This has been Homelessness by the Numbers.